we're here at Daniela's hometown, and I was like, why don't I just make a little recap? So I have my camera, I have my phone that can record audio. Let's make a little video. And that's one of my goals for 2025 is to just document, to create and capture and share more of what God is doing in the midst of Danny and I's life and his story throughout Honduras and the rest of the world. So let me bring you through what happened this year in 2024. Through hardship, difficulties, stress, joy, this year has had it all. So we started off in Artlist, and I was coming off of some of the hardest seasons of my life after being sick for multiple months at a time and just feeling overwhelmed with life and like, where do I go with this? It started as an opportunity of God answering a huge prayer that we had about getting my driver's license. Here in Honduras, it's very difficult to get a driver's license. You have to wake up at like 3 a.m, stand in line till 9 p.m. And if you're one of the first 50 people in line, you get to do the test. Not a very simple, easy way to do it. And there's a bunch of other headaches, let alone it being in Spanish. And so God opened up the exact month that I needed my driver's license. Some American was like, hey, can we get like a special time with a translated session on a Saturday? And some new policeman was like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. Honestly, for me, it was perfect timing. Like, God really opened up that door. I got to create and capture a video for Casa de Luz, one of my favorite organizations, the ministry that my wife works with. That was just such a fun project to work with Ed and Val on and just to see the work that they're doing. I shot a wedding with Daniela and traded my time for another project that we were doing, which is the Tim Tebow Foundation. It was the first one that they had in Honduras, and I'm so blessed to have been a part of that and to be able to take videos for this amazing ministry. And Danny even helped out with that, which was an incredible opportunity for her to help me in some of the work that I'm doing here in Honduras. In return, I continued to help Danielle for a little bit with different various projects, grew our friendship, and this was the first time that I ever went off on my own with some Honduran video friends and just without Danny translating and just practiced my Spanish, got to know them better, got to talk to them about God. And it was an incredible trip, and I'm so thankful for that opportunity. It's such an amazing opportunity to be able to help Ed and Val with the teams here, and Danny being on the front lines with Casa de Luz, and for me to be able to just drive them around or help mix concrete or do whatever they need is such a blessing. And that's kind of part of what I feel like God is having us be here for, is to help other ministries. I also started learning how to weld, which is an incredible skill to have here in Honduras when things are made of concrete and metal. And so I'm so blessed to be able to practice and just try some things. And I started filming some videos for a clinic, and that was over a series of a few months. I would go and film some while they had events or different things, and then I edited and created a video. I almost died in the shower 3 times when the electrical started to give up, and our electrical water heater, which is a sketchy system, they literally call it a widowmaker, started catching on fire. Ed came over and helped us with the electrical issue, which was incredible because had he not done that, I might not be here right now. So thank you, Ed. I shot a video for a friend of mine who was building a program to teach the local community how to make clay pots and that kind of thing. And we were constructing part of that. That young lady and one of the men who came on the team to help build that ended up getting married. And I was kind of like, it was just the 3 of us hanging out for a week. So I feel like I was part of that. You're welcome, Sarah. We went to a retreat this year, which is part of being with the Honduran Fellowship. It's required to go, but it's such an encouragement to be able to go there and to be with other missionaries and to get to hear testimonies and other things. We went to Danny's family, and we had been supporting them with potentially building a privacy fence to keep out the dogs from coming in and eating their food out of their kitchen, which was a big problem. And so we went and I mixed concrete and did some other stuff, and that was just such an encouraging moment to be able to do that, and lots of ministry opportunities that I can say in another video. I had the opportunity to film with a mechanic ministry here in Honduras. He's one of my good friends named Kenneth. I got to learn how to do suspension. I got to learn how to do timing belts. I also got to film it all, so I just learned, and then we would pause the cameras and I'd get to learn things, which was part of the goal for this year. And then Val needed a new side gate, and they were like, hey, you know how to weld. Let's do this. And I was like, okay, we'll try it. So I ended up welding them a gate. Turned out pretty well with Ed's help, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's a little short, but that's what they wanted, so we made it happen. I took photos for LMI, which is the place where Daniela graduated from and learned all of her English. And so that was fun for their alumni event. I took photos of Casa de Luz and their ministry event with the military, and my motorcycle started spewing oil all over and it was white everywhere. And I was like, what the heck? So I had to take that all apart, and Kenneth helped me figure that out. Got a tarantula inside of our house.
That's not fun.
That's so cool. All right, let me get a bucket. We found a tarantula in our living room, just chilling there, which is quite interesting. Just part of the life, I guess. The air quality became so bad that it was like breathing in smoke 24/7, 7 days a week for like 3 months. I went to the USA to film for Adventure Reach, which is one of my favorite ministries, and just had an incredible time. I was able to capture so much good footage, and I'm so excited for the projects we have in the future to use that footage. I came back home from the United States and started to film for a ministry called SEP International. They wanted 3 videos, and I started shooting that and got that knocked out. Daniela started working with some young women who are in the community who are learning about business and jewelry making, and there's so many areas where Danielle has grown with that. If you didn't know, Danielle has a little sunflower jewelry store that she makes every night. She comes home from work and just has a little bit of time, and it's one of those ways that she decompresses. And it's so cool to see how Danielle has grown that from just this little thing to now, selling things in the community and also teaching and reinvesting into these young women who are, in the mountains and rural places, and they're learning these new skills in how to do that. And so I'm so proud of my wife for doing that, and she's amazing. I love her. We also had our first anniversary, which was incredible. And then the next day we went to the embassy and got denied for the US tourist visa, which was a bummer. I have a video about that down below. That's the last video that I have on my YouTube channel, which I don't know. I should have updated you guys more, but I really got in a funk for a little while after that. And then just life got really busy. Immediately after we got denied, I headed off to Sepe again to film. Then I helped Ed and Val with a team. I was driving them around for a while, doing concrete. I took photos for Ed and Val 2 or 3 different times for their events that they had. They have some baptisms, which was incredible. I shot a video for Chris B., one of my good missionary friends, and his ministry. Went back to Kenneth's place to work on my personal car suspension. So thank you to some personal donations. You guys know who you are. Really, really thankful for that, because we go all over the place, and I'm so blessed to have a car that can go anywhere, that can do anything. And even coming to Oropli here, it's an hour in the middle of nowhere, and the roads are terrible. And so just knowing that we're not going to get stuck, we're not going to be stranded in the middle of nowhere, thank you. Really, really thankful for that. The other benefit to this is I'm also working on my own car. I'm not telling Kenneth, the missionary mechanic, to go work on my car. I'm going there and I'm working together and learning. And that is huge to me, because I want to learn. I love learning, and learning these kinds of things is so important to me, because if he's not around sometime, I can know how to do things. We also were able to purchase a little scooter for Dani. That was like a little surprise. And that way, when I'm gone, she has a means of transportation around Zambrano, not on the highways, not to Tegus, but at least around in Zambrano that's safe, that can get her from A to B without having to be around some sketchy people sometimes. After that, I flew to La Mesquitia and was able to go film with a ministry there. And that is one of the most rural, remote places. There's no real roads to get there. And it's dangerous, and the poverty is just insane. And yet, I got some of the most incredible videos from that, and I'm so blessed to have that opportunity to go there. I came home and I started filming for the Garden Mission, which was an incredible ministry in Tecuatepeque. Thankful to have that opportunity as well. I came to Daniela's family after that and used my new welding skills to help weld up some stuff here. After that trip, we had our first time going out, Daniela and I as a couple, with Hunter and friends, kind of just chilling, taking photos, staying over at somebody's house. And those are the kind of experiences that I hope to next year have more of when I continue to grow my learning language skills. I started to film a video for the Micah Project, one of my absolute favorite ministries ever. I love what they're doing, investing in young men as a young man who really struggled with certain things, getting to see them investing in young men is such an impactful thing for me. It's kind of like why I love Adventure Eats so much. And so really, really blessed to be able to have work with that organization. And I think that their video turned out the best out of any video that I'd done this year, which I'm really happy with. And just goes to show that the more you practice things, the more you invest in pursuing towards learning and growing, the more you can accomplish. Soon after that, I left for the United States, and I went and I filmed a wedding video with Paul Kwok and Liam Hinton, and that was incredible. And then I got to meet with so many of you supporters who were there for us day in and day out. And so blessed to be able to have that and just to be able to interact and hang out with you all. I went to Vermont to see my grandparents after that, flew back to Honduras, and then we also helped build this patio for Daniela's family, which has been so helpful. So that way when Henry is working, he doesn't have to be out in the rain, which is so thankful. For the last event of the year, I took photos for the Casa de Luz Christmas program. After that, Daniela's mom and niece came out, and we were able to minister and just love on them for a little bit. Then Danny and I flew to Roatan and met my family there, and we spent a week, which was the first time in a year and a half that my family has seen my wife. And it was such a joyous time. I had such an incredible time with them, and just to be able to experience life, to be able to get to see each other, amazing. 10 out of 10. So thankful for that opportunity. After coming home, we had a Christmas celebration with Ed and Val, which is so much fun. On Christmas, we went to the house of two young ladies, ages 10 and 11, whose family left them for Christmas. And we just hung out with them for an hour and gave them some food with Val through Casa de Luz's donation, and just was able to minister and love on them a little bit and try and make their Christmas a little bit better. Then Danny and I had our first Christmas together, and we had the opportunity to just eat some delicious food that she made for me, which I'm so thankful for. It was so good. And then we drove over here to Oropoli, and we've been spending the rest of the time, and we'll be leaving on January 2nd to go back home and start back up life. What a year it's been. I mean, just to look back and to think, wow, God has had his hand in so many different areas. And that's a lot of what I've been doing. Danny's been doing a ton of other stuff with Casa de Luz, with those programs, with all those young children, with the families of Casa de Luz. And so I just kind of wanted to take this video and just kind of have a recap of like what we did this year. Because I think one thing that's for sure is that when life starts going, it goes fast. And sometimes taking these moments to just look back and think about the ways that God has blessed us in our lives through, just the blessings each and every day, through food, through provision, through prayers for people who are supporting us, who are coming alongside us. And I think one of the things we really want to focus on this next year is what does it look like to, invite you guys in? What does it look like to have you guys be a part of our team? How do I do a better job with not just having it be a newsletter or a YouTube video that comes out for you guys, but how do we include you in that? How do we invite you in? So that's one of the goals I have for next year. Another goal is I really want to work on Spanish. Spanish is something that is so critical to relationship, to telling people about God, and to sharing stories and editing. And so that's going to be a huge part of this next year for me. If I can get Spanish down, imagine the doors that can open up and the compound effect of that they can have year after year. Another thing I just want to say is we appreciate all of you. The support, the prayers, and the way that you guys have shown up this year. Thank you. It's not possible without you guys, but also let's take a second to just praise God for the blessings that he's given each and every one of us, that he's given you. I mean, if you look around right now, I'm sure there's a million things that you can name that God has blessed you with. And even through the difficult and the hard seasons, oftentimes God uses that to refine and purify our hearts and to create us into something or someone that we would have never even begun to imagine had we not gone through those trials and tribulation. And so I am so blessed to be where we are, to be a part of this relationship that we have with God at the center, and you guys coming alongside and supporting and encouraging us. I really want to start to document some of these stories and these things on YouTube and other things, and kind of have more of like a reach outside of just our friends and family, and to see where God takes that. we're also looking for more support as well. We're considering, we've been married a year and a half now. We're considering having children sometime soon. And having that support and health insurance and all that is something that would be huge for both of us. I'm going to be turning 26 here in March. And so we're looking for more ways to reach a broader audience who might be interested in partnering and joining alongside us. So if you're interested in that, you can find links below to do so. You can be praying about the visa appointment. We were able to secure a slot in March of 2026. We are paying someone to find a sooner spot through cancellations. So that's another way that you guys can be praying for just Danny and I to be able to get that. And our plan is to go in December of 2025 to the US, Lord willing, obviously. And one of the last things is I really want to grow my relationship with Danny. I want to build a firm foundation in that when the winds and the trials and the tribulation come, that we can stand firm in our relationship and the roots that we've planted, deeply rooted in the Father and his love for us, and to just continue to grow in that. So Donnie wrote down a section that she wanted me to share with you guys, and here it is. So here are some of the goals that she has for this year. If the Lord provides a kid this year, that we can be prepared for it, and that we can have the right heart, mind, and spirit through that process. I want to grow my relationship with Christ more and overflow that into the kids of Casa de Luz, that I can be a better steward of the things the Lord has given me with resources, finances, and family, and that I can grow my business. Every time I make jewelry, I pray over it and for the people who will wear it. I want people to feel that whatever they are getting has a purpose and a meaning that reminds them of something beautiful, and that God loves them very much. Everyone who follows Christ can radiate like a sunflower, mirroring God's light and love in this dark world and offering hope to those around them. Another goal is to trust God with the visa process and be prepared for whatever he has in store for us, whether a yes or a no. I just want to thank you all for the ways you have supported us through your encouragement, financially, prayers, etc. That kind of thing means the world to me. And I hope this coming year can be a year of hope, faith, and growth in every area of our lives. That our walk with the Lord can be a testimony to others, and that we can show his love through us. I really value your friendship and support, even though I don't know many of you in person. But that is my hope, that one day I can see you face to face. And thank you in person. Hugs, Dani. She's hanging out with the family and doing some stuff, and I just thought I would do this, and so that's what she wrote. But thank you all for supporting us. Thank you all for loving us. We love you. If you have any feedback, let us know down in the comments below. And if you'd like to support us, there are going to be links where you can donate through the church, or you can donate through other means as well. Really appreciate you all, and hope you have a wonderful new year, and excited to be able to just share with what's coming up in the future. Love you all. Take care.